Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir.
Are you comfortable?
Yes, ma'am. Definitely. Thank you.
Please introduce yourself.
Ma'am, I am Jaspinder Singh. I come from village from district Muxar Sahib, and my father is a farmer. My mother, she's housewife. I have done my schooling from Shri Muxar Sahib itself. Then I have done BA LLB honors from Punjab University, Chandigarh. Later on in 2019, after graduation, I started preparing for civil services, and this is my second attempt and first interview, ma'am.
Can you tell us something about Muktsar Sahib?
Yes, ma'am. Shri Muxar Sahib, it is a historical city with respect to Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Here, the Battle of Muktsar was fought in 1705 between Mughal army and Guru Gobind Singh Ji while he was on his way from Anandpur Sahib to Nanded. So this was the Battle of Muktsar that was fought here, and here this is the land of 40 Muktas, ma'am. Where Gurdwara Bandi Chod and Tambu Sahib is there in Muktsar Sahib. That is with respect to those 40 Muktas who fought for Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And it is also known for Magi Mela, which is celebrated in the name in the memory of 40 Muktas, and it is also known for its Jutti Muksri Jutti Nam.
Okay. So, in your other extracurricular activities, you have mentioned Bhangra and skipping, Punjabi poetry writing. So these are the things you love to do. So can you tell me how many types of Bhangras are there in Punjab?
Ma'am, as such, there are various forms of Bhangra and it keeps on evolving. So when we talk about Bhangra, it is a form of dance in which first earlier men danced, but now women are also dancing. And there is another form that is Gidda, and then Bhangra is having various formulations like Jugni, like Luddi, like Jodi, in which a couple dances. So there are various formulations, ma'am, of Bhangra.
So you also published, like pretty young, you've also published a research paper. What was it about?
It was based upon the rising criminal rate and the declining conviction rate, sir. And that was on the criminal justice system, sir.
Okay. So you never thought of pursuing, let's say, research as a career?
Sir, actually, I have done law because I wanted to go into civil services. So it was that this was the right way that I considered will be for me for going to the civil services, sir. So I haven't thought about it.
And is there any particular reason why there's such low representation of women in judiciary?
Yes, sir. Sir, when we talk about lower judiciary, there is a pretty nice representation of women, especially in various states like Delhi, in national capital Delhi, there is 44% of women in the lower judiciary. Even in states like Punjab, recent recruitments, men are more in number than men. But when it comes to higher judiciary and when it comes to high courts and Supreme Courts, yes, there is lower representation of women in judiciary. And the basic reason for it is, again, it starts from the society, sir, and the society is seen visible in the we can say in the judiciary or in the bench on the benches itself. And also when we look at the collegium, the most of the members, they are males. And when we look at lawyer as a profession from where the judges are to be chosen, women are reluctant or less likely to take law or legal lawyer as an like profession, sir. That these are certain reasons.
And another thing, what is the latest in the jurisprudence academia? What is latest happening in India and because you've also studied international law, and what is the latest in jurisprudence internationally?
So with respect to events happening or with respect to some research work going?
Academia.
So if you could please this is a vast ambit. If you could please
maybe let's limit it to cyber law. Cyber law.
Yes, in the cyber law there are certain things going on. First of all, in your EU that has come with a new law where it has started making it as a responsibility of the big companies, where they have to see whether the hate or such crime is being spread on the on the cyber arena. And also there are certain declarations that are that are under consideration, because there is no defined jurisdiction of in the cases of cyber crimes, and this jurisdiction is required to be discussed, and it is required to be reformed, and that is to be done in the cyber jurisprudence.
And one thing you also written about, like you like reading, and maybe you write Punjabi poetry. So
Yes,
what is the status of Punjabi poetry, first in Punjab and then second globally?
yes, sir. So when we look at Punjabi poetry, about reading and writing Punjabi poetry, Punjab has given various uh, Sahit Academy Award winners like Amrita Preetham. And then when we look at the music of Punjabi, so it comes from the poems of Shiv Kumar Batalvi, Bulle Shah. So, and it is also, it is famous in the worldwide. When we talk about Bulle Shah's kafis, they are famous not only in India but outside India as well. So Punjabi poetry as such, it is not just with respect to reading and writing the Punjabi poetry, but music is also making best of Punjabi poetry, sir.
Is there any role of poetry in developing a nation's soft power?
Yes, sir. Punjabi poetry, any poetry, sir, as a soft power, it is going to portray what the people of the country are thinking at that point of time, and other people they can relate to. For example, various when we look at Rabindranath Tagore's poems, and they are being converted, Gitanjali is being converted into, translated into another languages, and it is being read by and related to in the other countries, be it South Africa or other such countries. So that is the soft power. That is how poetry can bring soft power.
Can you share some Punjabi poetry with us?
Yes, sir. So I wrote one poem with respect to women. A lady, she's saying to her father कि मैंने मौका दे. She says, हले हले चाह अधूरे मेरे ने, हले चाह अधूरे मेरे ने, मैनू उड्डण दा एक मौका दे, मैं घट नहीं मेरे वीरन तो ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮਾਨ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਮੌਕਾ ਦੇ, ਇਸ ਬੰਦ ਡੱਬੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੋਤੀ ਨੇ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਚਮਕਣ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਮੌਕਾ ਦੇ, ਮੇਰੇ ਬਾਬਲ ਤੇਰਾ ਪੁੱਤ ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ, ਨਾ ਉੱਚਾ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਮੌਕਾ ਦੇ, ਮੇਰੇ ਬਾਬਲ ਤੇਰਾ ਪੁੱਤ ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ, ਨਾ ਉੱਚਾ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਮੌਕਾ ਦੇ.
Great. Thanks for sharing it with us, sir.
Thank you.
Jaspinder, we'll continue the discussion on poetry. Who's your most favorite Punjabi poet?
Sir, when it comes to first thing that comes to my mind is Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and then Surjit Patar, sir.
Okay. Do you think poetry has a social impact or a social cause or a social purpose that it serves to instill certain values in the society?
Yes, sir. So when we talk about Gurbani and Guru Nanak as a poet of Sikhs, sir, what he has written in his poetry, when we say so kyo manda akhiya jit jamme rajan, or when he's writing in the Japji Sahib about Pavan Guru Pani Pita, so he's giving social messages about saving the environment, then he's giving the message about empowering the woman. Then when we look at Amrita Preetham, when she's writing about partition, kya jakhan varishan ho ke to kabran vichon bol, so then she's talking about tragedy of partition, and she's asking to stop the bloodshed. And again, when we talk about Surjit Patar, he's writing about various environmental things and the current topics. So I think the poetry is giving social messages, sir.
So you belong to Muktsar. Recently, our Honorable Prime Minister spoke about the contribution of Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me something about the history of Mughal Sikh wars?
Yes, sir. Of Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji and Mughal Sikh wars, both?
Both, right?
Yes, sir. So when we talk about Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, he is 9th Guru of in the Sikh religion, and he's father of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. When Guru Gobind Singh Ji was 10 years old, then Kashmiri Pandits, they came to Guru Gobind Singh Ji to ask that they are being forcefully converted into Islam by Aurangzeb and his rulers. So at that point of time, Guru Tegh Bahadur ji was said that I'll be your leader, and if they convert me into the another religion, then they can convert you. But if they're not able to convert me, then you guys you will not be converted. So at that point of time, Guru Tegh Bahadur ji chose death over conversion. So he's known for that courage and conviction that you're not to be so docile, so like to change your stance, to change your religion. So that is Guru Tegh Bahadur ji, who is known as Hinddi Chadar, who saved from the forceful conversions. And then when we talk about Mughal battles, so these were basically fought between Mughals and Sikh army. So Guru Gobind Singh ji, he fought various battles starting from 1699. Later on, after 1699, also various battles were fought. Be it Battle of Anandpur, Battle of Chapparchiri, then Battle of Chapparchiri was fought by Banda Singh Bahadur. Guru Gobind Singh ji fought the battles at Shri Muksar Sahib. So various battles were fought, and then Banda Singh Bahadur, he was also fighting against the Mughal army. For example, Battle of Chapparchiri, Sarhand, basically. So this is how the Mughal battles were fought by the Sikhs.
So, have you heard about the Anandpur Sahib resolution?
Yes, sir.
Do you think the government of India shall actually follow what was said in the Anandpur Sahib declaration?
So when we talk about Anandpur Sahib declaration of 1970s, so it was basically the resolution which asked for more state rights, more rights with the state, and water sharing was like limited, and more powers with the state, and Punjabi as a language to be strengthened. So when we talk about these things, I think with the circumstances being changed from 1972 to 2022, these are 50 years, and here we need to weigh what things from Anandpur resolution are to be kept and what things are to be changed. So basically there must be well research or well deliberations and discussions with respect to what should be followed from Anandpur Sahib resolution right at the states.
So if I were to ask you, at this current situation, what are the three biggest challenges or issues that the state of Punjab faces? What will those three issues be?
So the first issue, that will be of the drug problem, sir. Second is the brain drain, sir. And third is the water level going down, sir, in Punjab, and the polluted water.
What solutions can you suggest for them, assuming that you've been appointed as an IAS officer in the state of Punjab?
Yes, sir. Sir, with respect to all three problems?
Yes.
So basically, first of all, it has to be seen that which problem is prominent in which part of the state, sir. For example, when we look at drugs, they start from the border state, and the supply and demand chain both are to be broken, sir, in the case of drugs. And when we talk about supply chain, then our security forces, they are to be strengthened, and the nexus between the police and the drug and whatever the nexus is, criminals, drug peddlers, that has to be broken, sir. And then when we talk about on the demand side, then those who are drug addicts, they should not be treated as criminals first. First, they should be treated as the people who are suffering from mental illness. They should be treated. And if they're not leaving it, then a further investigation or further action can be taken against them. And then when we talk about brain drain, so there what can be done is more so the first foremost thing that is to be done is the children in the class 9th and 10th, they must be taught entrepreneurship, how to take risks, not to run away from the risks. So that must start from the school itself. And that is the major thing that can change the whole scenario of Punjab, sir. And when we talk about the third problem, that is water level is going down, sir, then we need to change our cropping patterns, sir. There we need to make certain changes in a way that MSP for the crops like paddy, rather than focusing on that, another crops must be focused upon which are not water guzzling, sir.
So there has been a change of power in the state of Punjab, right? And
Yes, sir.
some announcements have been made regarding freebies that will be provided to the people of the state. Considering the fiscal situation of the state, do you think those are viable?
So when we talk about freebies, we have to see it from the angle of the reason and rationale for which they're coming. So the first and foremost thing that comes to my mind is the social empowerment, sir. If the freebies, they are social empowerment, or we can say social upliftment of the societies of those who are at the lower rung of the society, if they are getting the benefits, then those freebies, which we call, these are necessary, no matter from where the government is going to arrange for them. For example, education, education of poor, if we stress upon that, or it is about health, or it is about electricity to the poor. But when we talk about free electricity to the middle class and upper class, that must be restrained and this must be rationalized. And when we look at our revenue resources, then we need to strengthen our revenue resources so that we can even increase the social security benefits to the people, so we can increase the number of the people in the social security benefits, so our revenue must go up. So the promises which the political parties make, they must have the courage to come up with the more revenue in the state, and then they can very well launch the social empowerment methods or freebies for the people. Sir.
Okay. Shall there be tax on agricultural income?
Sir, current scenario, the answer right now, if for with respect to agriculture tax, that will, from my side, it will be no, because with the limited knowledge that I have, because with respect to the history where the peasants were taxed too much, and first of all, that was
let me add a point here. There are 6 lakh farmers in the country with an income of 1 crore plus from agriculture.
Yes, sir.
Shall they be taxed?
So yes, sir. When we talk about rationalization of the taxation, such farmers who are earning more than crores, or who are earning more than certain amount, threshold amount, we can think of taxing them. But the point is, we need to consider this at the ground level. First of all, looking at whether the benefits and the subsidies that they're paying and whatever they are paying, they are not being double taxed. For example, when a farming is a risky occupation, sir, and in this case, paying a tax when your job is very risky, and when you're asking the farmers to pay, it can lead to some social problem, like public law, public order problem right now in our country, if we say that we are going to tax agriculture. But yes, there are the farmers who are required to be taxed, who are the landlords. Basically, we can rationalize it in a way that those who are not doing farming on their own, or those who are giving it on a lease, means they are a big farmers, or they're earning more than some specific income, they can be taxed. But a farmer who is cultivating his land himself, because some risk is added to it, and sometimes the crop, the aloo or the potatoes rates go so high, sometimes they go so low that you're not that your last what you earned last time when it was high will be compensating what you earned when it was low. So basically, taxing agriculture must be rational with respect to those who are giving on lease and those who are not giving on the lease, rather than on the basis of how much they earn.
Thank you.
See, Punjab has a very rich culture and history, right? We all know that. But the current situation of Punjab is not very good, right? We are all aware of. When we see the employment jobs, the government jobs in Punjab, they are limited. They are limiting, right? What kind of other job opportunities Punjab should think of, right, in creating, so that there should be employment in itself in Punjab? Because you have already mentioned that there's a lot of brain drain which is happening, right? So to cater that, what kind of job opportunities can be there more, so that there should not be any kind of brain drain?
Yes, ma'am. Basically, three things are coming to my mind right now. The first is that when we diversify our agriculture, then we need to go towards horticulture first. And when we go towards horticulture, their research and development is required. So the whole chain is to be set up, and extension services, ma'am. So Punjab Agriculture University and their extension services and Krishi Vigyan Kendras. And then what can be done is that new agripreneurs can take up these extension services, and then the farmers can be taught horticulture and all. So the jobs will be created in this whole supply chain, firstly. Secondly, a food processing industry, as Punjab is the grain bowl, so it can be the processed food bowl of India as well. So like if we work upon this, that then again the huge, and it is like employment generator, ma'am, food processing industry. When we go for grading, sorting, and when we go for processing of the food, then so much of employment will be generated in this itself, especially in the beef and meat sector, where the tikkis and the patties, they can be exported to the other countries. And thirdly, when it comes to tourism, Punjab's tourism, especially rural tourism, or we can say cultural tourism or religious places, so this is required to be nourished in such a way that people should come not only just to Harmandir Sahib, but come to entire Punjab to take the glimpse of the culture of Punjab. So this can happen. And then fourthly, again, we need fourthly, the important thing that is to be done, the law and order situation must be maintained so that investors invest in Punjab and the jobs are created in Punjab.
All right, good. Take it.
All the very best.
All the very
Okay,
best.
all the best.